Get your things off my steps before the neighbors see. My mother's voice sliced through the cold like a blade. She didn't even open the door all the way, just enough to shove my duffel bag out with her foot like it was trash. My dad stood behind her with his arms crossed, eyes dead, like this was a business decision and not the destruction of his daughter's life. I was still in my work clothes from the job I'd just lost that morning. I'd come home numb, still clutching the empty cardboard box HR gave me to pack my desk. Before I could even explain, they'd already made the decision. My dad pointed to the driveway and said, "You're not staying here just because you screwed up. We're not carrying you." Then the door slammed in my face. My hands wouldn't stop shaking as I stared at my suitcase on the concrete. I remember looking through the front window and seeing my brother at the kitchen counter eating cereal, watching with this half-smirk like it was entertainment. No one asked where I would go. No one asked if I had gas money. My own parents kicked me out before I could even process that I was unemployed. My name is Lauren Hayes, and that was the day I stopped being their daughter and became their biggest mistake. 3 hours earlier, I was packing the last of my things at my desk when my manager slid the termination letter across the cubicle wall, like he couldn't be bothered to make eye contact. "Corporate cuts," he said, but we both knew the truth. I was the easiest one to push out. No severance, no warning, just a half-hearted apology and a box. I didn't cry. Not then. I drove home rehearsing how to tell my parents without sounding pathetic. When I walked through the front door, my brother was sprawled on the couch playing video games at noon. He didn't pay rent, didn't have a job, and somehow never faced consequences. I barely got out the words "I got laid off" before he shouted, "Mom, Dad, Lauren's unemployed." Their footsteps came fast, like they were waiting for me to fail. My mother didn't ask what happened. She didn't ask if I was okay. She asked how long I'd known. My father asked what my plan was, like I'd chosen this. I told them I needed a little time to get back on my feet, maybe a few weeks to figure out next steps. My mom exchanged a look with my dad and said, "We're not doing this again." Again? I'd never asked them for help in my life. I didn't realize then that the decision had already been made. My brother leaned in the doorway listening, spoon hanging from his mouth, enjoying every second. He didn't offer sympathy. He asked if he could take over my old room once I was out. My mother told him not to be rude, but she didn't correct the assumption. When I said I had some savings but needed to conserve it, my father scoffed and muttered, "Poor planning," like always. The same man who paid my brother's car insurance, phone bill, and parking tickets every single month without complaint. I tried reasoning, explaining I just needed a short window. My mom cut me off mid-sentence. "We're not supporting an adult who won't support herself." That line clung to me because I had been supporting myself. They just never noticed unless it benefited them. My dad told me to pack tonight, not tomorrow. My brother actually laughed when I looked at him for help. That was the moment the shock started to turn into something hotter. Back to the present. My duffel bag was on the porch, zipped poorly, one sock hanging out. My laptop charger was missing, and my birth certificate and passport weren't in the side pocket where I kept them. They'd gone through my things. I banged on the door, and my father opened it just wide enough to say, "Don't make a scene. You'll figure it out." Figure it out where? In the street. Mrs. Patterson across the road paused with her dog on the sidewalk, pretending not to stare. The curtains in the living room twitched. My brother was still watching. My cheeks burned with humiliation more than fear. I picked up my bag without a word. They didn't ask where I'd go. They didn't hand me $1. They just closed the door and locked it. Right there, I stopped knocking. I slept in my car behind a grocery store with a half-dead phone and a crumpled jacket for a pillow. I remember staring at the roof and thinking, if I survive this, they'll never get another piece of me again. I sold my old TV the next day for gas money and messaged the only friend I wasn't too proud to beg for a couch. She said yes. No questions. No judgment. I cried when I got to her place. Not because I was sad, but because she treated me better in one evening than my parents had in years. I got 2 part-time jobs within a week, stocking shelves overnight and answering phones at a call center during the day. I showered at the gym. I saved every dollar. My parents didn't call once. Not to check on me. Not to apologize. Not to ask if I was alive. The silence made it easier to erase them. My aunt texted me once, asking if it was true that I'd run off after disrespecting my parents. They told everyone I left on my own, because I couldn't handle responsibility. I didn't defend myself. I didn't correct the story. I just stopped taking calls from that side of the family altogether. From that point, I became an only child, by choice. 8 months in, I landed a remote tech support job that paid twice what I made before. I quit the call center. I moved out of my friend's apartment and into a tiny studio with peeling cabinets and bad lighting. It was the happiest I'd felt in years. I bought a bed with my own money. Every paycheck stacked up neatly. I didn't tell a soul from my family. I discovered cybersecurity through a ticket I escalated by accident. The supervisor who reviewed it told me I had a good mind for it. I took free online courses, then paid ones. Nights, weekends, lunch breaks. I studied. 16 months after they kicked me out, I had certifications. 2 years in, I had a salary they wouldn't believe. They only tried to reach me once in that whole time, Christmas year too. A group text photo of my brother opening gifts, captioned, "We miss you when you're not with us." I didn't reply. My number wasn't blocked, just ignored. The day I bought my first car in full cash, not used, not salvaged, I sat in the driver's seat and whispered, "They don't get to see this." It became my mantra. Every milestone was mine, never theirs. Their voices faded into a distant irritation instead of a wound. By year 4, I'd saved enough for a down payment on a house. Not an apartment, a house. I renovated slowly, choosing every light fixture and cabinet myself. It was quiet, warm mine. The same week I closed, my friend sent me a screenshot from Facebook. My mom complaining about ungrateful children who abandon their parents after everything. Abandon? They threw me out like trash. Month 53, my cousin messaged me privately, "Is it true your dad's company is being sued? Your mom is losing her mind." I didn't respond. But I reread it 3 times. Something inside me shifted. Turns out, my father's construction company cut corners on safety, and someone got hurt badly. Lawsuit. Debt. Leaked reputation. He lost contracts. My mom stopped posting Facebook humble brags overnight. My brother? Still unemployed, still living at home, but now suddenly looking for work according to relatives. The first time my mother called me in 5 years, I let it ring. Then she texted, "We need to talk. It's important. Family matters." No apology. No acknowledgement. Just expectation. I didn't answer. They had taught me silence. A week later, my father called from a number I didn't know. He left a voicemail talking like nothing had happened. "Hey kiddo, things have been tough lately. We could use your help for a bit. Call us back." Kiddo. Like I hadn't slept in a car because of them. My mother finally dropped the mask in a follow-up voicemail. "We might lose the house. Your father's business is gone. If you can loan us anything to get through this, just temporary, we'd be grateful." They wanted me to rescue the life they traded me for. I didn't reply. Not yet. I thought about it for a full week. Not because I doubted my decision, but because revenge deserved precision. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to gloat. I was going to let them see the life I'd built, the one they refused to believe I could have. I texted my mother one line, "You can come by Sunday at 3. No address. Just the time." When they pulled up to the house, they assumed someone else lived there. They looked around like visitors touring a model home. My father actually said, "Whose place is this?" I opened the door and let them stand in the entryway without stepping in. My mother tried the soft voice first. "Honey, we're family. We've all made mistakes. We just need a little help right now." I asked her to remind me what she said when she kicked me out. She froze. My father tried to rationalize. "You were struggling. We thought tough love would." I cut him off. "You didn't think at all. You threw me out in work clothes and watched me walk away with nothing." They had no defense, only excuses. My mother's voice cracked. "We could lose everything." I said, "You already did. You lost me 5 years ago." My father asked if they could move in just for a while. My brother, apparently, wasn't answering their calls. I stepped back, held the door, and said, "This house isn't your safety net. You don't get to benefit from a life you tried to bury." Then I closed the door. No yelling. Just a click. They haven't heard from me since. No updates. No money. No address. They sank under their own choices, pride, favoritism, and abandonment. I didn't ruin them. They ruined themselves the second they put me on the porch. And the most satisfying part? I didn't have to lift a finger to make them regret it. My success was the one door they'll never walk through again.